absolute pandemonium in the stands. Old Trafford went ballistic. It was 120+1. So you can imagine the kind of feeling or what the feeling was like in the crowd there. United love nothing more than beating Liverpool, trust me. They probably love it more than beating Manchester City. So it's one of those games where Amad Diallo, everything came together for him. Coach, let's check out the board. Take us through the goals and the talking points in there.
Exactly. So this is by far the biggest game in England. You may take it, you may hate it.
Historically,
it is what it is.
The present, everything, yeah.
So, 7-goal trailer, isn't it?
Yes, 7 goals.
We had a 7-goal trailer, but look, most of the goals could have been avoided. For the neutrals, like myself, I enjoyed every bit of it. Now let's go to the first.
I like the sound of that. Of the neutrals like yourself.
Like myself. I enjoyed every bit of it, isn't it? Now, let this roll, and then I'll point out the deficiency in the Liverpool defending that led to this very first goal. It must be said, like Man United started the game very, very well. The first 8 to 10 minutes belonged to them. They had a certain tempo, and it was prudent that they scored from that. Now, let me pause it here. Now, when you look at this, Liverpool had no defensive issue at all. They were properly in line. So the right back, which in this case was Gomez, or Kwanzaa has been drawn into from a centre-back role onto the right back. So he had done excellently well against Marcus Rashford. He showed him the bar line. Rashford realized that by going to the bar line, he was going to his weaker foot. So he checked back, and then he gave the ball to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes paused it here. This is where it was absolutely kindergarten from Liverpool. Now watch. These two lads, I'm referring to Gomez and I think Endo, the two Liverpool players you see there.
I think that's Gerald.
That's Kwanzaa. Yeah. So Gomez and Kwanzaa. Now, they could see Marcus Rashford, one, but they could not see Garnacho. Nobody expected Garnacho to be here because by the tactical way, he was playing on the right. So this is what, as coaches, you want to encourage.
So he has come all the way out of his position into the box.
Into the box. So nobody
is picking him up.
Picking him up. Even his direct marker, who is what? Robertson, has been caught in between whether to follow Garnacho or to show proper awareness of what? Rasmus Hojlund. But in this case, Rasmus Hojlund too is keeping both Van Dijk and Robertson very, very busy. Van Dijk saw the move. But the gap between the two of them, pause it here. Now, look at the gap between Virgil van Dijk and Garnacho. Look at the gap here. All this place. And all Rashford needed to do was to make sure he passed the ball in a way that would take off Kwanzaa and Gomez out of the picture. Because in this case, once the ball went past the two of them, they were passive. And that would mean that Van Dijk would have been drawn out of position. Now, once the pass went, Van Dijk do I go? And of course, McTominay. This is
United even had an extra man there if McTominay wasn't there.
McTominay is good at. Get into the box. Get
arriving in the box.
But to be part of the move, he's completely non-existent. So this was the first goal. It was kindergarten defending from Liverpool, and they paid for it.
I like how these things break down because like, a lot happens so quickly. One moment your defensive shape looks solid. The next couple of seconds,
once people go to sleep, you are exposed. Now let's go to the McAllister goal. That is the Liverpool first goal. Again, you allow it to roll, you allow it to roll, you allow it to roll, you allow it to roll. But look, this is a repetition of something that happened some few weeks ago. Now, Jurgen Klopp after this goal clearly congratulated Kwanzaa. Now, if you are Ten Hag, you should be looking at Marcus Rashford and say, look, where was your desire? No desire whatsoever to win the ball. You don't allow Kwanzaa. Everybody watch. This is Kwanzaa with the ball. This is Marcus Rashford. Look at where Kwanzaa is going to pass. He's virtually going to do a merry-go-round around Marcus Rashford. At this level, knowing where you are, that cannot be allowed to happen. So if you roll this again, look at Kwanzaa, look at Rashford, look at him, look at him. If you're holding him, pull him there and stop the play. And that is one of Liverpool's centre-backs. Again,
how you let the centre back come all the way there and run rings around
you like that?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have allowed you to do so.
Yeah.
So you also don't allow him to. So that was, again, very elementary on the part of Marcus Rashford. So the second goal was gone. Now let's go to the third goal. Now the third goal is Liverpool's second goal of the game, and that goal was scored by Mohamed Salah. Look, truth be told, this was a problem created by Manchester United insistence that they wanted to build from the back. I don't envy Wan-Bissaka here because he's right-footed. He's been asked to play on the left. He did very well. Look at the situation there. It's a very tight situation. He's been pressed by 2 Liverpool players. Yeah. So it's 2 things. Either he goes to throw or he locate a Manchester United player. And for me,
he can go to corner too.
He could go to corner and allow the team and then put a defensive shape and defend. But he didn't do that. Now he gave the ball to Bruno Fernandes. Once the ball got to Bruno Fernandes, this is what Bruno didn't do too well. This capture is not showing it exactly what was wrong here. But Bruno, in controlling the ball, should have put his body in between the ball and Gomez. He didn't do so. The control didn't stick with him. It went away from him. So all that Gomez did was to put his foot across Bruno, take charge of the ball, and recycle the attacking move for Liverpool. And that meant that, look at the shape of United. This is my United centre-back, one of the centre-back. This is Varane. Look at the gap between Rafael Varane and Lindelof. Unacceptable. So already here, United are struggling. They didn't know what to do. Now look at what Liverpool did. They quickly saw that. They quickly realized that there was an issue. So they pounced, like every good team would do. They pounced, Lindelof dealt with the cross. But because the shape was not what it should be, United was never going to recover from that defensive error.
They were scrambling to get back.
They were hoping that the ball would drop for one of them to just kick it away and make sure they come back to their shape. So again, another unforced defensive error, and they paid the price for that. Now let's go to the next goal. The next goal, I think...
Anthony?
Yes, Anthony. This is where, if you are a good player...
The darling boy, Anthony.
I still do think he's very young, and therefore he should be given enough time
to develop.
Yes, the price tag is huge. Now, let's let this roll for the first time, then I'll come back and pause it again for the second time. Okay, let's wait a bit. No, I don't want this.
I think
okay, then I have to go
back. We'll just rerun again. Let's run that back again.
Now let's run that back. I think McTominay did so well, but when the ball broke loose, this is where, look, credit must be given to Alejandro Garnacho. I think he had a wonderful game today.
Fantastic.
He worked for one.
Did you see how he was running at 120 minutes? That was crazy for me. Yep.
Look, good players are told, especially good wingers, they are told. If you're a winger, I highlighted what Fatau Isaaku was not doing right. Anytime the ball is given to you, fancy that 1v1
Run at your opponent.
Run at that fullback. And that was exactly what Garnacho did. So he ran at the fullback, but credit must be given to the young chap, Bradley, who had come on for Gomez at this stage. Now, the beauty here is that the entire Liverpool team are aware that Anthony is extremely left-footed. Nobody thought
that he would actually
check and turn onto his right foot to hit the ball. But look, he's Brazilian. You may like him, you may hate him. It is always within the DNA
instinct
of Brazilian players that look, when they find themselves in very tight situation, they are not English. They've got the waist to turn themselves.
He can do the unexpected.
Exactly. Don't laugh. You see, they've got the ways to turn themselves in difficult situations. So he did that, and he brought the ball onto his right foot, and then bang into the back of the net. That actually changed the complexion of the game. This game, again, I must emphasize, shouldn't have gone to extra time. We don't have that highlight there. Rashford had a beautiful assist cooked for him by Christian Eriksen. All he needed to do was to plant the ball in the back of the net, and he didn't do that. Then the game went into extra time. Now, in the extra time, look, you could feel the fatigue in the legs of these players. This is the Liverpool third goal scored by Elliott. Tactically, there wasn't anything that much to worry about, but the fact that the ball had a wicked deflection that took it away from Andre Onana, who had a beautiful game. There you go. Elliott control one, and then he just went for it. Deflected off Christian Eriksen into the back of the net. So there isn't too much to worry about here. You want to credit Elliott for giving it a try.
Yeah.
In the game of football, there are certain things, if you don't try them...
You don't expect your opponent to shoot from that far.
Exactly.
Mostly.
It will not happen. Now, the problem now started when Liverpool thought they were cruising. They were winning the game in extra time. Look at this. Everybody watch here. This is, the goalkeeper caught the ball, and then he threw the, I think he took the right decision by going out wide to Darwin Núñez. Now look at the number of options Darwin Núñez had. If you're a Liverpool player or coach, you should go ballistic. He could have just given the ball back to Tsimikas. But look at what he did. He decided to force the ball where there were no way. Now, as he was forced infield by McTominay, look at what the ball got intercepted by McTominay for the very first time in so many times. McTominay gave an assist to Marcus Rashford. Let it be made very clear. All Rashford needed to do was to pick his spot. And that was exactly what he did. And then that brought the game to 3-3. The most important goal, in my view, that Jurgen Klopp will be absolutely ballistic about was the last goal that Liverpool conceded. Look, you're at Old Trafford. It is the FA Cup quarterfinals. The semi-finals is at stake. In the last minute of extra time, you win a corner kick. You were not losing the game. You only do this when tactically you are losing the game.
You throw everybody forward.
You throw everybody forward. Yes, you may argue that every Man United player, outfit player, were all in the box. You can count all the United players in the box, 10 of them including Onana, 11. So they were all in the box. So Liverpool may say there were justification to do what they did. But normally, when the ball breaks loose and you don't win that second ball, you are completely out of defensive shape. And when the counter-attack is on, you are hoping that somebody may come to your rescue. So when Liverpool had the corner and the ball was drew, McTominay headed the ball out. Look at, between Luis Diaz and Elliott, they bumped into each other. And that allowed Ahmad to quickly rush on Elliott, dispossess him, and look at who the ball fell to. You didn't want the ball to go to Garnacho because even at this stage, he was running than any other player on the pitch.
At 120 minutes,
so now look at it.
Crazy.
This was the last minute of it. But look at the pace. These are all young boys. And Ahmad, look, the Garnacho pass, technically,
was a bad pass.
Weight,
it was a bad pass.
And the precision, the ball should have gone in front of Ahmad. And if you look at the Liverpool defender, he thought Ahmad would give it back to Garnacho. But he now forgotten that he was also left-footed, so preferred it. And all he needed to do was to drag that. Watch that again. Liverpool, look at that.
Lack of communication. Like, it's my ball, it's my ball.
Who take charge of the situation? And then he went for it. And look at the pass.
Did really well to have let the ball go
for me,
at the exact time.
This is what, if you are a player, you need to be told. On such plays, do you go first ball or do you go last ball? I think if he had gone first ball, the goalkeeper would have made the save. So all he needed to do was to drag it across.
And you saw that the goalkeeper couldn't even move at all.
And another thing that he did well technically, he didn't give the ball any height. If he had given the ball any form of height, the keeper would have saved it. But the ball was on the tip. So by the time the goalkeeper would adjust his body, go down.
It's already gone.
He didn't strike the ball that well.
Nope.
The ball lacked proper power.
But it had a lot of direction.
It had the proper quality on it. It ended up in the back of the net. So Liverpool, look,
I think he had a lot of work to do to finish this.
Exactly.
That was a really good.
That was a very good finish. And Liverpool had every reason not to have lost this game. Look, at some point in time, we were doing the game on radio, and it was clear that they were overly comfortable. If it is not done, you stick to the game plan and finish the job. They decided not to, and they paid the price of not being in the semi-finals against Coventry. Man United will play Coventry. Chelsea will play Man City, I think on the 20th and 21st of next month.
Big game. So the semi-final set, United up against Coventry, Chelsea up against Manchester City. That should be a cracker. Who goes to the final? We'll bring you updates. Let's get